Hi there, how are you? In this video, I'll be talking about how you easily can lose weight over time and also at the same time enjoy the absolute highlights, but in a controlled manner. And that's what it's all about. As we know, weight is a balance of how much you intake and how much you burn. So you can roughly say losing weight is about your food intake and your habits, but also how much you exercise in your sports. In this video, I'll handle the food part. That means the food intake, the habits, but also how the body and the mind works around that. It is a continuation of another video that I made with the title Lose Weight, Stay Forever Young, Minimum Effort. And in that video, I handle the other part around exercises and mindset around that. In general, a well-planned diet, of course, plays a crucial role if you want to lose weight. And I believe in enjoying life. Now we have the privilege having it. So I always eat what I really find delicious, but I mean really delicious, but I do it in a controlled manner. And that is the key word, controlled manner. With my advice here, you can really eat well on selected events. However, it is with respect to some basic rules. And before we go on, I just want to say I'm not sponsored, and these are solely my personal experiences that I have made on my own body, and I'm the living proof that it actually works. Well, to understand the overall picture, you really have to understand how the brain and the body works before we go to the diet part. Okay, and we start with the stomach. You can consider the stomach as a balloon, but with memory. The more we eat, the bigger it gets, and it remembers, and it stays big. And the thing is, a big stomach actually calls for the same hunger that a small stomach does. But you have to fill it up more, of course, in order to feel satisfied and not feel the hunger anymore. Fortunately, the stomach can easily and quickly transform to a smaller one. And that is where the big benefits they are. So with the smaller stomach, we will feel faster satisfied, and therefore we have the opportunity to eat less. And it is very important that we don't overeat at any times, because every time you do that, you stress your stomach or your balloon, so to say, to get bigger, and the corresponding disadvantages will follow. It is my experience that I can train my stomach smaller in less than a week. Of course, it will depend on how expanded your stomach is, but I mean, it's still the same rules that apply to the stomach. Then there's the brain. The brain just means well and wants to keep us alive. But it's not really developed for this accelerated society that we live in. On top of that, it is strongly influenced by the signals from the body. And the main problem here is with the food, it is engineered to taste amazingly. And we must say it does that. They do a good job out there. On top of that, it's easy to get hold of. We have 24-hour shops, we have quick dishes, we have drive-ins, we have fast food, etc. And the thing is, the brain does not really warn you here. So with the eyes driving the appetite, both the body and the eyes say, give me more. And once you have taken the first bite, you're in the trap, and more wants uncontrolled more, which is totally normal. So how to control that? Well, here's my advice. It takes really, really good discipline to break the circle once you have taken the first bite. So always ask yourself, do I want to take number one? Because after that, as a human being, it's simply just hard to control our behavior. So basically I ask myself 4 questions. 1, will I be happier eating this? Will I have a big happiness after this? Probably not. Do I really need it? That's number 2. And number 3 is it worth it? I mean, the calories, they must be burned if I want to stay the way I am. And then number 4, what means the most to me? Do I want to stay slim, fit, and all the advantages that follows that? Or do I want to go the other direction? So it's a way of setting my mind up to what I want on the long term. Just to elaborate a little bit on the 4 questions that I ask myself. Will I be happier? How happy do I actually get? Well, try to ask yourself, how many times do you remember you actually had something to eat and after that you were really, really happy? Is it the same happiness as if you have accomplished something really great in your life? Probably not. For me, it's a big no. I don't get happy, but I have an immediate sense gratification, you can say. So choose carefully, I would say. Then there's the question, do I need it? Am I really hungry? Or is it my instincts, my eye and my brain that takes over saying, oh, I'd like to eat that? If it is just coziness, I want to make sure that it's really, really quality what I get before I load my system with it. Is it worth it? Always a good question. You know you have to do exercises to burn it somehow if you engage. Finally, there's what means most to me. And for me, it's very important to stay slim and fit. So I always ask myself before I eat, and I differentiate with the food that I intake. For an example, if we are fine dinners, holidays, concert maybe, or something like that, I choose to engage because I have chosen to enjoy life while I'm here. But if I get the opportunity to eat some maybe low-cost consumer products, I choose not to engage because I know this will crave something from me afterwards. In the following, I'll go through some basic rules that I follow. I minimize the size of my stomach, and I do that by not eating breakfast. It suits me well as I have an office job and don't need big energy in the morning. Okay, sometimes I become a little hungry during noon, but then I take a piece of fruit, I drink a glass of water, maybe I take a coffee, and it's no problem for me to go on until midday before I get something to eat. Then always I consider what I eat when the hunger strikes. So fruit is a good option to eat because there is no fat in that. And then in our house, we have simply removed sweets and chips, etc. And that's for 2 reasons. Because first of all, we can't access it when we want it. Like in the evenings, there's a craving for sugar, typically. And we want to sit and eat something in front of the television. And if it's not in the house, it's just not easy to access. And then also I will not be tempted because we all of us, we know when it lays out there just waiting for us. So just remove that from the house. And then always I think about, should I take number 1, like I told you? Yeah, I consider that very carefully every time when I do that. My attitude towards food is Monday to Friday, I have 2 meals every day. It's lunch and supper. And in general, I eat low calorie. It's not diet, but I think about what I put in my mouth. And often it's fish and chicken that we eat. 95% of all cases, I skip the snacks between the meals. I only take it when it's good quality. In general, I try not to overeat. Small stomach, remember. You might ask yourself on how my life is affected by these rules that I apply to myself. And I can assure you I have a great life. Absolutely. I'm not feeling that I'm missing out on anything. It's not that I feel I'm missing out on food. It's not that I'm feeling that I'm walking around being hungry at all times. I'm just in control, and then I let the time work for me. And that is the great thing. Time goes anyway. So why not be in control? And I have chosen to be in control. So this leads to the summary of this video. Well, the advantages is that you can eat the goodies in between the meals if it's not on a daily basis, if you chose you want to eat that. And you can eat it without having any regrets and fully enjoy that. You just have to do that in a controlled manner, and that is the whole thing. That is what it's all about here. It's being in control. Then I have chosen to eat a little better on Friday and Saturdays when it's up to the weekend. And I get full faster, so it's great. And also it builds up confidence in some kind, because when you reject to eat something, then you prove to yourself that you are in control, and also, as I told earlier, then you will also appreciate more when you eat the things that you choose to eat. This concludes my video. Together with my other video, Lose Weight, Stay Forever Young, Minimum Effort, you have the whole scope of how you get in control and let time work for you. Thanks for listening. I hope this video has been inspirational, and if so, please give it a like and feel free to share it if you think other people could have advantage of listening to these advices. Okay, have fun. Bye-bye.